What's going on, fam? This is Carl Markowski, and you are listening to the Playing On Podcast. Thanks for joining me. This episode is brought to you by Punisher's Paintball. Punisher's has been a long-standing paintball retailer. They've been serving paintball community since, I think, 2003-ish. But they have a huge range of products to accommodate speedball and scenario paintball. But the cool thing is, right now, they're featuring a Spire 3 trade-in program. And what they'll do is they'll give you a certain amount for your hopper to trade in for the new Spire 3, which is pretty cool. And if you visit their website, punisherspb.com, they give you all the details over there, and you can figure out how to trade your loader in for the brand new Spire 3, which is pretty sweet. They have all kinds of used gear over there. They have anything from markers, hoppers, tanks, all kinds of stuff. And if you use the promo code TPOP, you will get 10% off your order, any order, today. So make sure you check them out, punisherspb.com, and check out that Spire 3, that trade-in program. That's pretty sweet. So thank you to Punishers. Also brought to you by Charm City Paintball, the head game guru, Mike Thompson, down in Florida. He is busting out some pretty sweet headgear, if I do say so myself. I have a awesome pack band right now that has the American flag, stars and stripes on it. Super intricate. I love that kind of shit, and something that is handmade, put some thought and some work into, and I love it. I mean, the results show. But he makes all kinds of stuff. Charm City Paintball on Facebook as well as Instagram. He has very limited runs of all the fabrics. So anything that you get from him is pretty unique, and only about 10 to 12 pieces per fabric. So very low runs, high quality stuff. Charm City Paintball. Shoot him a message on Facebook and Facebook. I just got a lisp out of nowhere, but he will definitely work with you as well on if you have a certain fabric that you like or that you notice that he posts up. He'll make something happen for you. So hit him up, Mike over at Charm City Paintball. Thanks, Mike. We are also brought to you by Carbon. You guys have seen them advertise on the NXL webcast they have awesome SC pack that's out that you can actually you can pump up, and the back conforms to your back, so it makes it 10 times more comfortable and 10 times more sturdy and stable on your back. They also have some thermopods that are out that actually change color when you should change them out when they get too hot, and they have the base layer that I use, which is awesome. It's integrated padding inside of a compression fit top and bottom, and I've been using them ever since they came out. I think it's great, and there's a lot of people actually using them in the league right now. A lot of pros. I don't know if they openly admit that they do. Some do, but I'll tell you what, man. There's a reason why. There's a lot of good things about it. Especially with knee pads and elbow pads, they're not sliding around and getting out of place. They're staying pretty tight like a tiger. So thank you to Carbon Paintball. But reminder, if you go to carbonpaintball.com, and when you start clicking on some stuff that you want to order, before you check out, make sure you type in the promo code capital TPOP for the Playing On Podcast, capital TPOP, and you get 10% off your entire order. Make sure you guys check that out, and use the promo code, get a discount, get some Carbon stuff. Thank you, Carbon. And last but not least, we are brought to you by Planet Eclipse, the makers of the brand new CS2, the LV 1.5, the whole LV series, this new hotness of the mechanical markers that are coming out, the GMech, and well, it's already out, I guess. But the GMech and the Etha mechanical that they are using for a rental marker, but should be on the tournament field. I feel things sweet, but yeah, they're awesome and have been a giant supporter of not only myself, but many teams that I have been on and around the league. They're just a they're a standout force in the game right now, not only with their product but with their reputation and their company. And I think they do a great job of trying to grow this sport and help out the players along with the teams. And it says a lot to me, especially just because, some companies, they'll just deal with teams and they won't even, acknowledge any of the players or anything like that. And Planet Eclipse does an amazing job at customer service and just really giving the customers what they really want. So hats off to Planet Eclipse, and thank you to all of our sponsors. Greatly appreciate it. And now into the podcast. This episode is with Jessica Maiolo. I forget how she said it, but I know she's currently playing on the female USA, the women's USA paintball team. She has played on other teams before. She resides out of Dallas, Texas, and I hope I said that right. I'm pretty sure that's how her last name's pronounced. But she's from Texas. She is she's on the forefront of women's paintball and getting this thing going. And her and I had a long discussion on what it takes to be a female, not only as not someone just to look at in paintball. I hate to put it that way, but it's like, females in the sport, there are certain things that us guys, we just don't know shit about. And being a female in a mostly male-dominated sport and trying to make a name for yourself has to be tough as shit. And her and I talked a bunch about, the first female pro paintball player, when's she gonna arrive, when's she gonna be here. That's going to be hopefully soon, and because I would love to see it before I'm not in the sport anymore, because I think it'll help the sport and it will change. It'll change the sport, and I think it'll be good. So enough of my babbling. Here is the podcast with Jessica Maiolo. Thank you guys for listening. Enjoy.
Yeah, I was at the bank this morning, and I was trying to get my business account set up. Finally, after 6 months of starting my business, and the guy was like, "Well, when do you normally go to sleep? Because you do 4 different things." And I was like, "Well, I went to bed at 1:45 last night." And he's like, "What time did you get up?" I was like, 6. And he's like, "Just don't what do you do? Do you take a nap?" I was like, "Yeah, sometimes if I have time."
Jeez.
I don't know.
Do you have trouble sleeping?
Yeah. I don't take I've got melatonin, but it doesn't work. I use it for it maybe gets me to sleep for 3 hours.
Really?
And then I just wake up awake.
So yeah. I've never had a problem falling asleep. I can hit the pillow, and within 3 to 5 minutes I can be snoozing.
See, I can if I'm exhausted, to the point of no return. I'll fall asleep anywhere for a nap and I'll wake right up, but at night specifically, I can't fall asleep.
That's crazy. Are you more of a night person? Or is it just kind of you just can't sleep?
I'm a morning person too. So it's I can run off a very little sleep, but I also if I have a nap, I'm 100% good to go. If not, I'm just I'll feel 50%.
Yeah.
Somehow I still manage to do 3 different things.
Dude.
But.
So what's your business?
It's Highland Therapies. It's a therapy staffing it's kind of a way of, I told my boss, I've only been there for 3 years, and I was like, well, what can I do on my 5-year plan? Because that's what I'm already thinking about. I haven't been here for 3 years, and, I can't lift people forever. So she was like, well, it's one of my favorites. And she was like, what I can do is, not many people do this. They can kind of start their own LLC through me, and I can give you possible clients in the area, and you can staff them how you need. I pay you this amount. You pay them this, and you make the profit.
Right.
So
you're a licensed physical therapist?
Rec therapist.
What's the difference? Sorry for my ignorance.
No, you're fine. No, physical therapist it's strictly in the movements.
Mm-hmm.
Rec therapy is using recreation, which is any kind of leisure skill you can think of, literally anything, as form of treatment. So for an obese client with special needs that I have who refuses to walk if she knows she's having to exercise,
Mm-hmm.
in order to get her to walk those 2 miles and get her to lose weight, I take her to the zoo because she's doing something she likes that's recreational, but she doesn't know she's walking 2 miles.
Oh,
If
so
that
you
makes
get paid to have fun.
Pretty much. Like I went to the aquarium today.
Man, I love the zoo. I love animals. I love the zoo. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
gonna go like because I hate it.
so I have all the levels. We're recording.
hmm
We can talk about whatever you want to. Whenever I have people on here, it's always pretty much an open table. Hello, puppies.
Say hi.
It's an open table, pretty much, of whatever you want to talk about. We can talk about whatever you don't want to talk about. We don't have to. I'm not going to push the issue, but I do like knowing people's stories on how they found things or how they started. And if my face ever freezes, I'm still trying to figure out the best location for the Wi-Fi and everything down here. So the connection's not 100% great, but
That's fine.
it is what it is. It works for what it does.
This is like my story after 9 p.m. pretty much. So this is...
Oh, I love dogs. I have a pit bull.
Oh, you little pit bull.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
baby. She's a pit bull.
at heart.
This is what we do every night. It's just me and her.
What kind of dog is she?
She's a Maltese. She's pretty much like a cat.
Yeah, about the size of a
Yeah.
cat.
I know, she's ridiculous right now. Stop it.
My pit, he thinks he's a lap dog, so he'll just jump onto me whenever he just feels like it, just all willy-nilly. He's such a baby. They get such a bad rap.
They do, and I have some really sweet ones.
Yeah, he's well, we rescued him from the pound, and he was a bait dog for dog fighting. Yeah, he has a bunch of scars like on his jowls and everything on his neck, but he's real skittish. But they said when we rescued him he was 5, but he was pink, and I swear he was like 2.
Yeah,
Now
no.
I think he's like 7.
Yeah. Daisy just turned 9 in February, and she's got a bunch of spots on her now.
Yeah.
She's an old lady, but she's a freaking diva, as you can tell. She's like just sitting here.
I love dogs. I'm such a dog person.
Me too.
We've had I think I've only had 2 cats in my life.
We had 2 cats as well, but I mean they were raised together. They were Siamese. My parents used to breed Siamese cats for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
That's such a unique cat. Those and the hairless ones.
Oh yeah, was it the Rex or the Sphinx or something?
Something like that. I know. I think Todd Martinez has a couple of them that he puts on the Instagrams every once in a while. So let's start with some background. And I don't want to make this. I'm really trying not to make this like super like interview question. It's whatever comes off kind of the top of my head. I have a few notes that seem. My fucking screen already froze. I gotta find new Wi-Fi, Cheezo Pete's.
But I can hear you, okay, so it's fine.
Okay. So, what were you like an athletic person your entire life? Have you always been into sports? And what kind of brought you or what introduced you into the paintball world?
Well, yeah, I've always been active into sports. My parents, I guess mostly my dad was kind of I don't want to say the term forced, but he was very strict with sports growing up, so I had to play something, and it was always soccer. T-ball didn't stick.
Mm-hmm.
Soccer stuck for 21 years, but like I wasn't even allowed to talk to people that didn't play sports or hang out with them. It was a bad influence, I guess.
Soccer?
Anything. If I didn't like have friends that didn't play sports, like I wasn't allowed to hang out with them. It was
really.
Know what was up with my parents. But yeah.
So
I mean in the summertime, and we lived out in the middle of nowhere, we still don't have cable or internet. I would obviously, I'm on a seafood diet. I see food, I eat it. So growing up, I would always eat anything, but I was always so tiny. I've always been tiny. And so my
Yeah,
dad
how
would be,
tall are you? You're
I'm
weighing wait,
yeah,
what?
4'10" and a half.
Oh my goodness.
I know, 99.4 pounds this morning.
That's got to be tough for being an athlete.
Yeah, I mean, well, you got to think, we're carrying the same amount as everyone else,
Mm.
and so it's hard. You have that pressure on, to be as fast as you can to run to the snake or the Dorito break or whatever.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, I'm carrying 9 pods as well sometimes, and
Which is
it
silly.
slows me a bit. But I'm working at building my muscle and getting faster.
There you go.
But I used to take laps around the yard. We had a 2-acre lot, when I was little.
Do you happen to have like a pair of like Apple headphones or any kind of headphones with a mic or anything?
Yes, actually, I do.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry to cut you short.
You're good. Let me get my older ones because the new ones don't fit my. I love that. All right, let me get these in.
I'm just getting a little bit of
Is that
feedback on
better?
my voice. Oh, it's perfect. I was getting
Perfect.
feedback from my voice back into
Yeah,
the thing. So
You're
it's
still frozen, by the way, but I can hear you clear. So.
oh God, I need to get this fixed. Well, we're hoping to in the next couple years at least find a nice big house where I can have a whole room just dedicated to a podcast area. But for now, I'm tucked in the basement in the corner because we have 2 bedrooms. We have our master bedroom and our son's room. Our house was built in 1900. So
Oh my gosh,
yeah, so
that's awesome.
it's an old house, so we don't have any closets except for one upstairs, and that was built. Our bathroom is probably the size of like a porta potty, and which we think was a closet because in 1900 I can only assume that somewhere in the backyard there was an outhouse. And so we're trying to make the most of it. This was actually our first house that we bought, and then
Oh,
yeah, and it came on the market at the right time. Everything price was right. Everything happened just at the right time. But now we're kind of outgrowing it and trying to find some new stuff. So, but where was I when I cut you off for the headphones? Oh, your size and everything like that. So, yeah. So what I was actually listening to a podcast. Who was it with? I think it was on Joe Rogan podcast. And they were talking
was
about
it with the Ronnie Johnson one? There was one I heard. Was it Aftercut maybe?
maybe.
Someone had brought me up. I don't know which one it was.
But yeah, my whole point with that was that like they were talking about MMA fighters, and
Oh, okay.
it was with George St. Pierre. I don't know if you follow MMA or not or anything like that, but George St. Pierre is a French Canadian who fights, and he was talking about it, and he goes, the most athletic, the most talented, the most agile are all the featherweight guys, are all the lighter weight guys, because they're so nimble. And
Right.
I take that and I bring it over to your case, and the smaller guys like Dizon and Chad George and guys like that who are just athletic and nimble and can play whatever spot. They might not be able to jump up and see over a can,
Right.
but I mean they can play anywhere. And
Right.
I can only imagine. I mean, with your Instagram and how much you're staying in shape and you're taking care of your body, and that, I feel like that is so you have to do that now in paintball to be relevant.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I kind of grew up playing Doritos and Snake. At first it was like kind of forced upon Snake because I was so small. You're automatically assumed that you're going to play
I
Snake.
hate that.
But as I grew up, yeah, and it's like, what if I don't want to? Like, But I grew up playing different positions in college. I played Doritos. The past year has changed. I was playing the 2 on the Snake for about a year and a half or so, until Chicago of last year, about a year. I got put onto the center. So I was playing the W, the biggest bunker on the field at 4'10". People were coming around trying to bunker. They don't even see me because I'm right down here.
Yeah.
And then I played Doritos in California, and then I played Doritos in the last event in Dallas, and then I played Snake for USA. So I think it's very important to be versatile. Being small does help, but it does have its challenges, obviously. Granted, I'm 4'10", I'm 99 pounds. I have to carry a little bit under or just as much paint as any other human on the field, and expected to do, the same speeds, if not better, or, the same. But, and it's really hard. But, I'm trying to work and get stronger to carry all that weight, and I'm trying to train with weights when I run to make myself faster, and I got good remarks this past weekend. So we'll see. We'll see what the next couple events have in store.
So how did you get into paintball? Where did that, and how did that come about?
Oh God. Okay. So from what I remember, it was a long time ago. I was in high school, dated this guy. I just remember that's the first time I heard about paintball. Was he would always talk about woods ball. I think I got him like Smart Parts knee pads for his birthday one year. It's all I remember. And I knew he would always go ditch me to go play paintball on the weekends. I was like, well, this is stupid. Like, what the hell? And I knew he always talked about speedball. I had no idea what speedball was. Didn't know anything about anything. Well, we broke up. My best friend, Cheryl, her boyfriend played on a speedball team in Chalkawinity at Hematoma. Mm-hmm. And she was like, will you come, with me this weekend? Please keep me company. This is so boring. I was like, fine, whatever, I'll go. We go, a few hours pass, and they're like, well, you guys need to play with us. I was like, I'm really not into this. I don't think so. Like, what's the point? They make us play, and I guess I did a decent enough of a blind shot for all I know. Probably terrible. And they're like, hey, you want a spot on the team? And I was like, you know what? If I hate it, I'll quit. So we got on the team. We played ACTS division 2 years in a row. Wasn't supposed to, but I did. I played ACTS. I think we got like first, or we got a lot. I think I have like 3 or 4 third place medals so far. I think we got first place overall. So we're always in APG magazine, which was super cool. And I've been playing tournament ball ever since. I think I've played woods ball maybe 4 times in my entire life, 5 times at most.
So what around what year was it when you started?
2007. Yeah, 2007.
Crazy. I was already playing for. Man, I started at the end of 2002. Started actually playing paintball. But it was weird. It wasn't long after that. Like when I discovered it, I was instantly hooked. Like I played woods ball was my first time. I played, and then I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is so much fun. And then when I discovered tournament ball, not long after that,
You're sounding away.
Am I coming through? Is it working? No?
Your sound's going away. It just trickled off. There it goes. I could still understand you. There, you're good now. Yes, you're good.
Oh my God, this is terrible. I need to really up my production value.
It's okay. No, it was fine. I could understand you. No, but yeah, I mean, it's it's pretty cool.
Well, it's like the progression. For me, when I first started playing in the woods for the 2 times that I did, I was like, okay, yeah, this is fun, the whole hide and seek thing. But then when I discovered the indoor with the bunkers and everything like that, I was like, this is what I want to do. It was more fast paced. It was more because I'm not the brightest bulb in the pack. And I'm kind of I like the adrenaline and the rush and the advancing. And I think that's what I like doing more than anything is be able to shoot a guy in with a couple balls and then just be able to move down the field.
Yeah, I like the adrenaline.
The little victories are what I enjoy, yeah.
I don't even know what made it stick, though. It's kind of weird to think that, 12 years later, here I am and I'm still playing. And it's I didn't ever expect this. Me, of all people, I hated paintball.
Oh, it's gotta be such a kick in the balls for your ex-boyfriend.
Oh yeah. I do remember this one funny story. Oh my God, kill me if you fucking heard this. So we had, we play ACTS division. So, Bambi, we would always, if you podium, you get your picture in APG magazine. Mm-hmm. I sold it at Barnes & Noble. Well, I found it. I got so excited. I was like, look, there I am. It's old ass little baby picture of me on the little medal.
Yeah.
And I went to high school, and I showed it to my best friend, who was our mutual friend, Chris. I was like, Chris, look. He was like, oh my God, I got to show him this. I'm going to take it to lunch. And I was like, oh God, so to block lunches. I remember he comes back to art class. He was like, and it was wrinkled.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I mean, what do you want me to do? Like, so here I am.
It's so weird
I love
how
it.
things work
Thank
out.
you. I know. It's great. Like, it's like, I love it. I don't know what else I would honestly do without paintball.
So you started playing on the snake side, and that didn't stick? It was just, did you feel forced in that spot, or?
I mean, I kind of did, because I feel like everyone expected it of me because I was so tiny, and I was even smaller back then. So I'm only 4'10.5" now. I mean, I was in high school. I was probably 4'8", 4'6", 4'7". Like, I was fucking tiny.
Yeah.
So everyone, that's the expected position. No one's going to expect me to go up there and play fucking center,
Right.
So when I go up there and do it at Chicago, and I'm actually holding my lane, and people are trying to run through and bunker me, but they completely missed me by 5 feet because I'm way down
barrels
here.
going way over your head.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. I mean, it works out. They don't expect it,
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think smaller guys do really well. Smaller people. Anywhere in the field, because I mean, if you look at a Dorito, I mean, that is set up perfect, especially like the standard paintball power stance that you would be in. I mean, that's set up perfect. Those little raceways, the little mini houses, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Those are set up perfect. I'm still not like, I like the new bunkers, but I feel like I took a look at the AC Dallas layout, because I'm not going to be there, or an AC Dallas layout, AC Atlantic City event. And I'm not a big fan of at least the big damn brick right at the back center.
Yeah, see, I as a short person, I played it for 4 days in a row last weekend. Obviously, I cannot play the center or the home. I guess that brick would be the home technically. I cannot play it. I can't see over it. It's for the tall guys. I pretty much was going snake off break. Yeah. And I played Dorito side once. I made it up to the 50 Dorito, but just kind of played it recklessly and got fucked up around. But I stayed in for a while. I made a snake 2 run off the break into the cutting through where the little gap is. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of cool. I mean, I was getting in there really fast. Like, I was up in their S1 at least 4 times.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I did pretty decent, I thought. I feel like I may have been moving too fast up the snake, if that was even a thing. But for this layout, I don't know. Because every time I popped up, I looked inside, I couldn't see anything. Yeah. I don't know if people were just simultaneously like tucking in or what, but I know the back I couldn't play unless I just hold that lane and branch off. But I can't see over it like the other guys have that advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how different fields, depending on where you are positionally, you could be further down the field and actually have it be somewhat of a disadvantage. I mean, depending on where like the main breakout guys are, if they're in this spot, this spot, and you go one more bunker up, even though you're advancing down the field.
Oh, you went out again. Wait.
Am I here? Am I back?
You went out again.
Oh my God. Maybe. No, nothing. Down.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, you're good now.
It's so embarrassing.
It's okay. Maybe it was mine.
No, it's definitely me. See, the thing is too, like with Skype. So I upgraded to the newest version of Skype, and then which was working great. And then they had me update again not long after that, and then I did the podcast with Rocky Newth, and it just completely would not work. It said connection was too low or too shitty, whatever it said, and then I couldn't do it, and I actually had to revert back to the old Skype, and then it kind of worked. And I don't know what the hell the deal is. Like this works best because the program that I have records the video and the audio, and it worked for a while great, and lately I feel like it's just been dog shit. And everybody probably who's listening to this in their car or whatever is like, God, this shit is terrible. Everybody keeps cutting out. Oh, jeez, OP. So who are you playing with at Atlantic City?
I am. Is this broadcasted live?
Is it a secret?
It is a secret.
No, it's not live. Yeah, this will probably come out Well, I
After
planned on.
AC?
Yeah. Well, no. I plan like
No.
this weekend is when I was gonna bring it out. You don't have to tell us. You can keep.
I can't say anything about this weekend or next. Can't say anything about London either. I was advised not to.
Oh, you're going to London?
I am going to London.
That is awesome. I never got to go to Europe.
I will. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've never been to London. I mean, to France a few times
Mm.
and a few other places, but it was kind of a blur.
I would love to go. I've been to Australia
It
a couple
wasn't
times.
paintball. Oh, so you got me there.
Yeah.
God, I
Oh,
wanna
dude,
go
I
to
loved
Australia.
it. I loved it. But yeah, even when the only time I got to travel was for paintball. And I did it while I was in high school and a little bit after. I never got to like experience it. Just going to go, anything like that. I
Hmm.
never got to. But I mean, I don't think I'd change it because I love the people that I was with, and it's. I still want to go. I still want to go to Europe so bad.
But you're going to London, right?
No,
No?
no. I just don't have the time off work.
Ah.
That's
Yeah,
what,
I'm working this weekend, so I can take off next weekend. So,
yeah. Yeah, and I'm not going to be able to make it to Atlantic City because of my knee issues, and it's just
how's that?
yeah, it's
Did you get an MRI or anything? Everything good?
so I got an MRI a few weeks ago, and then at first I thought it was my MCL because I went to jiu-jitsu, and
Right.
this guy had me in a leg lock and like twisted a certain way, and I heard this pop, and I had like instant like not pain, but my knee just got hot, and I swear it was my MCL. I was like, I fucked my MCL up, I'm done. But then it didn't really hurt, and then I rolled again right after that, and then that's when the kind of pain started coming in. For like 4 days
Right.
after that, I couldn't walk. I can barely go up the stairs. I thought it was my MCL. Got the MRI.
Oh shit.
I had my knee scoped one time for the same knee scoped for my meniscus. I had a tear,
Right.
and I guess now I have more tears, and it looks like crab meat, and I have arthritis.
God.
And now my left knee is starting to get.
It almost sounds like my right knee a little bit. It's been tweaking, but
And only athletes understand like when your body is the tool that you use.
yeah.
When something gets fucked up on it, no one but athletes realize like how much of how detrimental it is because you feel
Oh, yeah.
like you're not doing anything.
Yeah. It's like for me to go one day without even like I'm the annoying asshole that's like I go on vacation this non-paintball related with my friends and it's like, hey, let's go to the gym, like let's go run. And they're just like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like,
Yeah.
and if I can't work out or do something like active, I will lose it. Like I worked out at 6 a.m. this morning and I go back at 5 to train someone and my knee's starting to like just feel weird, like something's swelling. And I'm like, okay, well, I went way too hard on legs, Monday and then glutes this morning. So I need to just take it easy and not do cardio. I'm trying to build the muscles around it and strengthen everything because there's not much cartilage there. It's like on bone.
Yeah, that's
You
what
just
mine feels like.
you gotta know your limits basically.
So do you do a lot of heavy lifting or is it more like cardio or more high end?
Heavy. Anyone else is heavy. It's not anyone else's heavy. It's my heavy.
Heavy to you, yeah.
So heavy to me. So I'd actually try to go as light as I can with my knee because being the way it is, I don't take any chances with it because I've already had a surgery. I had a scope like you have. I had plica removed. They removed a ton of inflamed tissue.
Yeah.
I like for squat. Actually, I squat maybe once a month. Shocker. Yeah, I do weighted squats once a month, and I think I do like a 35 on each side of the bar. I won't do anything more than that. There's no point. It doesn't make your butt bigger. It makes it lifted. I do hip thrusters. I think I'll do like 60 pounds on each side of the bar for those. And I'll do like everything else, but I try to keep the impact off of my knee.
Right.
Like I'll even have days where I don't do any kind of like extra added weight. I'll just do body weight. Like I'll do 200 lunges, and jump squats and jump lunges and shit like that. Just to kind of mix it up a little bit.
Do you do any resistance bands or?
Yeah, I have resistance bands too. Actually, I need to wear more because I've had them for a couple of years and they're starting to roll on me. But I'll do just like crab walks and that kind of stuff. Try to mix it up a little.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you ever thought about being a trainer? I mean, with how into it you are and how knowledgeable you are.
I do actually. I do that with my job, my actual job. I work with kids with special needs, so it's obviously at a different level. Like teaching someone how to do a jumping jack, you think it's not that hard. It takes one of my kids about 20 minutes to learn how to do a jumping jack, like a single one. Like,
Yeah.
so I do that very basic with them. And I obviously go to the gym every morning, and my gym was like, hey, you know, you're always in here. We need a female trainer. Like, can you work? And I was like, well, honestly, I really don't have the time. Like, I work full time. I've got my company, everything, paintball. But yeah, I'll do it if needed, you know, PRN. So I train like 1 or 2 people a week, you know, for an hour or two. And so I do that also as well. I did today. Not that I have the time, but I do. I find time.
So what's your diet like?
Well, today I had tacos, but I also, you know, the way my macros are, I made it so I could have them. Mm-hmm. So I eat it basically, just a lot of chicken, ground turkey, really lean ground turkey. I really don't eat vegetables, so I eat vegetable powder. I'll eat spinach and asparagus. That's about the only vegetables I eat. Maybe carrots. A lot of protein shakes. I have my first one right now. Yeah, it's pretty much what I do every day. I think I eat like 5 times a day. Small bits 5 times a day.
Do you ever do any kind of, so no intermittent fasting, nothing like that?
No, I feel like that only comes in, I want to say like on paintball day, like tournament days, because if you're at the field, I don't really have time to eat. And so that's the only time I ever feel like it's like intermittent, but others, not really. It's typically every 2 hours for me.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately is a lot of the fasting.
I've wanted to try it. My trainer hasn't put me on it yet, so I don't.
A lot of people, I've learned, a lot of people that I know have been trying it out, and a lot of people on Rogan's podcast has been doing it, and they've been doing like 16 to 18 hours, 14, 16, 18. Right now, I'm eating at like, let's see, I finish eating at 8, and then I probably won't eat again until like 1 or 2 o'clock the next day, and then I'll have dinner.
Right.
I don't really eat that much.
Yeah, so I don't either. It gets hard. The only thing is, like, as much as I do during the day, the way my body is, like, I'm hypoglycemic, so if I don't even get enough, like, breaded carbs, I will go into, like, I get that, like, ketosis, like, taste. I get, like, the sweet taste in my mouth, and I'll start getting really disoriented. I could pass out. Blood sugar just plummets. So I have to, like, make sure I'm constantly, like, having something to snack on. Like, I've got little glucose tablets in my car.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would even be okay for me. Like, if I go, like, without eating as much as I do and, like, lifting clients and, you know, moving around, I'd probably get really sick.
So you said hyperglycemic? Hypoglycemic?
Yeah. It's low.
So that means that you need carbs?
So for me, like, it doesn't necessarily mean I need carbs. So my body, like, I just from knowing how it is, my parents were never one to take me to the doctors growing up. Like, I didn't know I had a heart murmur until I was like 15, you know, and all that shit. But like, I have a glucose meter here that I check my blood sugar, and it's always under 100. It's typically 70 to 90.
Yeah.
So I know I can tell when my body's not
sluggish
operating
and,
up. Yeah. Like, and for me, I've noticed the times I feel like I'm about to pass out is when I haven't had carbs. And that happened when I was on a very strict diet last year, and I almost passed out at work. And so we were out to lunch, and I had my meal prep. I had my chicken and like asparagus, and I hadn't had breaded carbs in like a week. And so all of a sudden I just started like getting really disoriented, seeing black spots. And I told my client, I was like, hey, can I have like a French fry or something? Just ate it, and I immediately kind of came back. And my body is just really weird. And I've noticed, like when I was younger, it's weird. So I would have like, we'd be getting ready for church, and we're not supposed to eat an hour before church because it's like Catholic, whatever. But I was feeling like really kind of nauseous. So I would eat like a bowl of like Rice Krispies, and add like a tablespoon of sugar in there. And I would take it and I'd eat it, whatever. And then I was getting my makeup on. My hand just started shaking like violently. And I was like, oh my God, like I feel like I'm about to pass out right now.
Yeah.
And my uncle was like, no, sit down. Let me take your blood sugar. And it was like at 50. And this was like after like I'd eaten like a banana in between that.
Yeah.
and it was so very, very low. And so like my body like burns shit off really quick, but at the same time, it's like that's why I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out the right plan for me that's not going to kill me and
Yeah.
keep me functioning throughout everything I do right now because I constantly am moving on a daily basis and I don't want anything bad to happen. So,
Well,
but
that's gotta be scary. I mean, I like there's not
yeah,
too much craziness that's wrong with me. I just gotta, I follow some diets. I know
right, right.
I'm asthmatic, and like there's
There
not.
you go.
Yeah, I've
That's
been.
got to be tough with paintball. I can't imagine, being in those masks and then, being in the snake room, one of the Doritos, and you're just dying.
Oh, it's terrible.
I can't imagine breathing through a straw already.
I have to. So when I was younger, I actually had to be in one of those hospital bubbles.
Yeah.
I had in one of those. I had a breathing machine when I was younger, and then I've always had an inhaler. And I think let's see, my late teens and about midway through my 20s, I thought I outgrew it. Like I was doing
Hmm.
all these sports and all this other shit, and I feel like I wouldn't lose my breath. And then all of a sudden I was probably like 20, 26, 27, and all of a sudden like after a match I was like, fuck, I'm kind of winded. What the hell? And then I went and saw the doctor, and like yeah, we're gonna prescribe you a little breathing machine, or not a breathing machine, but an inhaler.
Yeah.
And I take that before I do jiu-jitsu or before I play paintball.
You're good after that?
It's like night and day. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome. I can
It's
imagine.
scary. Yeah.
Well, it's like it's hard to be in at events. So like my thing for tournaments is I get up, I do my routine, I eat a waffle. I have to have waffles. I will bring Eggo waffles with me. It's just because the carbs, I can burn off the carbs.
Yeah.
That's my energy source. So I eat my two waffles, I go to the field, have a little bit of pre-workout, I do my points, and in between those matches, I have to have like a breaded carb again. I'll have a granola bar, but that's all I eat the whole day
Hmm.
until I get like somewhere later, and I'll have like a cheeseburger or something, and it's great. But I haven't had a
Event diets are
cheeseburger
the
in a long
best.
time.
It's
It's
always
so
fast
hard.
food, and you're like, but I gotta eat healthy. All right,
It's so
and it never
Because I'm
happens.
trying to chat with my trainer, and I'm like, I can't turn in my food logs on Monday when I have a 4-day event. I'm like, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be okay from like Monday to Thursday, but after that, I can't help you. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna try to stick with it,
Yeah.
but I'm burning. So you're out there for 12, 13 hours a day at the field.
Mm.
Like, you need to eat. So
Does your team stay at the field and watch games from whenever you guys get there?
my previous team, most of them left. The people that were supposed to help, some of them stayed to help. Not gonna
Which
shake hands.
who is the team?
I stayed and helped. I was a Phalanx,
A who?
Texas Phalanx,
Oh.
Texas Phalanx. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of
Um,
them.
yeah, no.
Hmm.
But new one, we'll see how it's gonna go. I will announce it maybe in a couple weeks. This is the longest secret I've ever kept. This
I
is
was gonna say,
hard.
why so secretive with it?
I don't know. People keep bugging me about it, and it's a lot of people don't know. So if you're listening now, I am not with Texas Phalanx anymore. Not my choice, but definitely for the better.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff up my sleeve that I've been working on. I did get offered to play on a very higher level for London,
Hmm.
like semi-pro,
Nice.
but I turned it down because I already committed to another team. Not at D4. I'm be at either D2 or D3. I haven't decided yet. I can't announce it until it happens. They won't let me. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I got a couple things up my sleeve for this year, so you'll have to stay tuned, I guess. I'll announce though.
That's awesome.
It's killing me. I really want to say something, but I can't.
So
But I had a really nice 4-day practice last weekend, so it was good.
nice. And you're in Dallas.
I am.
So are you at the paintball fit, or where are you practicing at?
I was at Cousins Paintball. I'm currently flying to relocate for practices now.
Hmm.
It's a little inconvenient, But
Oh, it sucks.
I definitely have things in the making for the next year and a half to get me where I need to be that I
Cool.
would have not have had the opportunity otherwise. So
That's awesome. The
yeah,
the world works in mysterious ways.
I know. I'm kind of excited.
That's so cool. I love news like that. It's like it's no one knows what's going on, but
You
it's
know, I think only two people outside of that team know.
mhm.
So, and they're keeping their mouth shut too. So it's kind of nice.
So I brought this up before on the podcast, and I think paintball more than any other sport could be a sport where uh, sex or gender or whatever you want to call it is integrated.
Right.
And I think I 100% feel that. I mean, you don't have to be super athletic, but if you are, it's a plus.
Right.
You have to be very disciplined, which anyone can be. I'm not, you know what I mean? I mean, not anyone can be, but the
Right.
people
Yeah.
who want
No,
to
yeah.
be. And I feel like the jobs and what is needed on the field can be distributed to whomever wants to step up to the plate, right?
Right.
So I feel that I think it should have happened a long time ago. I mean,
Right.
I think there should have been not necessarily maybe an all women's team, but I think there should have been at least now.
Right.
Fuck. I think there should have been at least 10 to 12 female professionals. I really do.
Yeah, I'm like waiting. So I know your rank is just a number. I know it doesn't define your skill level. You can have a superior D5 player and you can have a really shit pro player.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. And it's hard to get that many females, to stay consistent as the males do. You know what I mean? Like, because we have the USA team, we have, these 10 girls, but, not all of them can make all these events.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like people don't take it as seriously when you don't have the same consistent people and you just keep adding people. And then it kind of deteriorates the value of that person. And it makes me feel like, oh, well, maybe I'm not that good. Like, if they're bringing on random girls, like, I want to be here. That's where I want to be.
Right.
That's what I'm going to do. I don't care how long it takes me, but I'm going to get there. Like, I'm busting my ass right now. Like, I got, good remarks from pro coaches this weekend saying I was fast. So I was like, hell yeah, like, let's go. I'm getting faster. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good news for me. And I just need to get even faster, I guess,
It's a confidence booster.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to be as good as I can. And it's hard because, there's those gender differences. There's not a lot of girls that play consistently. I get that they're different from men. You're expected to raise a family. You're expected to have kids. You're expected to do all these things. So in order to take that break, like, I'm 28 years old.
Mm-hmm.
People think I'm 16. I'm not 16. I'm 28. Like, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I do not have a boyfriend. I'm not married. I have no kids. Like,
You're living
this
life
is
on
what
the
I
edge.
want to do. Yeah, I've got my career that I'm trying to do first. I don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just, I wish there was more like consistency, and I wish they would even let women get to that level, or even guess. Like, I don't even know how it's supposed to be. Can girls be on male pro teams, or would they try to segregate it?
I don't see why not. I mean, I think if the
Like,
if the opportunity is there, I think women can definitely play on teams. But I think I don't know if it's quite a lack of whether or not the women can. I think there's no one really there that has the opportunity to kind of pull. Unless I think Goldman posted something about a female player, first professional female player over in Europe.
The girl from Europe, yeah.
But I don't know really her story, background, really anything. Yeah. But I had an ex who played for LTZ. And that was when I believe when they turned pro. And I think she was actually the first female professional player, even though she wasn't like a starting player. Like, right. She was rostered on a pro team. On the roster,
right.
Yeah. But now I just don't know if there's no one really stepping up to the plate. No offense.
No, yeah.
But I haven't seen it, I guess, not necessarily on social media or anything like that, but there's no buzz about it. And
Right.
I don't know if there's nobody to that level yet. I've heard really good things about you, and that's why I'm curious about your team and who all you're playing for, whatever. But I want to see that so bad. I want to see that transition, and I think it would be so good for our sport to be able to
See,
show that to people.
that's what I did when I started. I had reached out. I have a few close connections on different pro teams that I talked to and got insight from. And I was like, well, I need to be on a team that isn't very cliquey, that's not going to be sexist, it's not going to sit here and dick around and be like, oh yeah, we'll give you a chance.
They're going to trust you.
What I like to do is say I'm playing D3 this year. I want to guest on a D2 line and see how I do so I can get that experience and see how much different of a jump it is.
Mm-hmm.
That way, so when I move up, I know what to expect. I can at least be like, hey, I played an event. I get it. If I do really well, keep me on. Cool. Like, because I'm trying, like I said, I'm 20 years old. I'm trying to get this as quick as possible. And I do one day want to play pro. I think that'd be fucking dope.
Yeah.
Especially because there's not a lot of girls that play consistently, or maybe that's not even their goal. They're just kind of like, oh, let's get here and whatever. Like
that
cool.
void needs to be filled.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm here to do that. There's not, I'm looking around. There's not much around me to like, that's really at the exact same level I feel like mentally I am. So it's hard. So I kind of just on my own, like, I don't want to say enemy, but my own, what's the word?
You're your own, I was going to say moderator.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're the one that's guiding your future.
Like,
yeah.
Like my own PR is like I've got my own goals I'm trying to reach, and I'm trying to knock them out one by one at the same time, juggling work and everything.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think it's twice as more challenging to you because, or for you, rather, because not only do you have to prove your skill level, but then you also have to prove your skill level as a woman.
Oh, it's hard. So yeah, it's the thing. It's like I go in there. And like if I'm having a shit day, like on the layout, I could be like, well, it's fine. I'm a female. They already expect me to suck. So it's not like I can get much worse, right? But you do have so much more to prove. I have to be this much faster. I have to be, I have to shoot out this many more people. Mm-hmm. I have to make this impact on people because they're already expecting me to not be as good as the guys. I've had, guys at practice on my own team that would not get out when I shot them at higher divisions when we would scrimmage. They'd wait till coach called our 30-second point, wipe their neck and come off,
Yeah.
Because it's a little ego, thing. They don't want to know they got shot by a girl. Guess what? You did. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. You did. And it's only going to hurt you in a tournament. It's not my problem, But that's where they are for a reason. I'm trying to bust my ass to get better, Yeah. This weekend when I played, this team didn't play bounces. I played my bounces because that's what I was taught. And I wasn't used to not playing bounces. I couldn't just stay in. So
it is
I don't want to get
another
reverse major. So, but it's all a learning experience. I'm just trying to get to that level, and I'm willing to bust my ass for it if that's what I got to do. I just want to make sure that, when I talk to other teams, would you consider let me play and, practice with you guys or, try at this level? They're like, yeah, that's fine. Cool. We meshed really well with the entire fucking team. Everyone was super cool, super friendly. So I'm really looking forward to it. We'll see what next year has in store.
That's awesome. It's got to be extremely frustrating though, as far as, because we will never know as a guy. We'll never know what it's like to not only have to try and be better than somebody or prove your skill, but then also, because we're a completely different being, gender and everything. It's like, and it's just like that whole example that you said. I mean, they wouldn't get out, and then that has to frustrate the shit out of you because you're trying to prove more than that.
Yeah, it's like I conquered that goal, but I at the same time I didn't because I'm not getting recognized for it.
It keeps getting chipped away by other people.
I did it though,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super frustrating.
Yeah, and I think what it's going to come down to is the captains and the coaches of all these other teams.
Right.
Because I'll tell you right now, and I don't have to tell you because you've experienced it, but you're going to have guys that are like, okay, give her a shot, see what happens. But then there's going to be a good majority of the guys out there too that are like, oh, I'm fucking better than her. I'm not gonna get out when I get shot by her because I'm gonna look bad, I'm not gonna get shot by a girl. This that, and I think it's really gonna come down to the coaches and the captains saying, hey, fucker, she shot you. Get the fuck out. This is practice. You're not proving anything by staying in, and then really telling guys like, hey, it is what it is. If she has the skill and the talent and the hard work that goes into it, there's no reason why she shouldn't be a part of a winning team.
That's what I say. Like there's with other, categories that we're not discussing right now, but hey, bring it to the field. Like I'm trying to be recognized not by my body, but my skill on this field. Like that's why, because I know I don't look like the average girl that's gonna play fucking competitive paintball. I get that. I get it all the fucking time. I want to prove myself on the field in my full-on attire, with my gun, in a tournament. And I've actually gotten messages from people that are like, hey, you're the first girl that shot me. Like, good job. And some people, when they see, like, NXL repost something, they don't have anything nice to say. But, whatever, people are going to say something either way.
Yeah. How about I shot you because I'm fucking good, and then on top of that, I'm a girl, so.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, maybe I got lucky. Who cares? I still shot you. Like, it's not my...
Yeah, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a ton of I don't want to say bravery, but just fucking hard work. Hard work for you to get into that.
As I said, I'm willing to put it in, so.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Make all these flights and practice 4 times a week. Let's go. I need to get there.
You go. So. And you were talking about that you don't look like the average competitive female paintball player. I would probably rephrase that saying you don't look like the average female paintball player, because if I were somebody who was not in the sport and then I heard that you play competitive paintball, I would say, okay, I can see that. You know what I mean? Because you actually, with the way the sport is now.
If you see me outside of like gym clothes, which is like even people at my gym are like, you're wearing a dress. Like, why? Like, what's wrong? Who are you? And they wouldn't recognize me because I just kind of shit like crap.
Yeah.
If you see me at the paintball field, that's my worst. So I'm sorry.
No, man, I love seeing people at the paintball fields, just because like they're out of their environment. They're in this new bigger kind of sort of same environment, but it's so cool. I love events, man, because it's just so you see everybody and it's over the top. And as long as it's not raining, I'm happy.
Everyone has a similarity, which I like. Like everyone kind of comes together for like at least one thing. Mm-hmm. You're on the same level.
How do you think that all the events, being a lower division and seeing the sport since 2007, how do you think the NXL is doing right now with the events and with the layout stuff and how everything's going?
The layouts are getting cool. I mean, they're definitely giving us challenges, which is, I mean, we asked for. We can't really complain. They're mixing it up for sure. Maybe not what we expected, but it's definitely making us. Like there's some people that are like, oh, I only played Doritos. Well, guess what? You're gonna learn today. You're gonna be playing Doritos on the snake side. Like, what are you gonna do? So, I mean, they're definitely mixing it up. As far as marketing, I really think they could do better. Like, let me help you.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Like, they need to be putting it in papers, like on the news, something like. I feel like we could get way more people out there. Like I've had some of my friends from, in Dallas that would come out into the fields and like drink beer. Like I'd be like, hey, just BYB, just put some beer in your backpack. Come watch points. Like just make your presence. Like just bring a ton of people. Yeah. See what it's about. I'm tired of showing you videos on Instagram. Like just come out and see it. Like it's actually a pretty dope fucking place. Like I wish we would get more like outside people, better advertising. Maybe I know paintball fields are normally really far away from like civilization most of the time, but if we could get it, we
gotta do something.
Like marketing.
Whether it be a couple billboards on the highway or something like that, or even some area where they can they have a paintball marker that's chained up and you can only shoot it one way, and they have this range, or just a bunch of interactive things, because the common folk are not going to understand the competitive national side of it. Right now, this is just a big gathering. But until we have until we can convey this thing as something that you can take in and they can retain and kind of understand somewhat, that's what I feel like we need to try and do too.
Right. I wonder, like, if there's things that, again, I'm not familiar with which each city has, like, as far as going on, but like with Dallas, like there's something here in Dallas where there's some sort of like artsy event where we had free time away from tournaments to like go to.
Mm-hmm.
If you could have like professional paintballers go up there, or just, you know, even divisional ones, go in your jerseys, like go to schools like that have club sports. Because I was trying to get some stuff going with ECU because it was kind of hit or miss. Like everyone has other stuff going on, and, you know, exams, you know, running classes, other things, and it's hard to kind of advertise the sport of club paintball. And I told my friends, I was like, hey, I'm willing to fly down there if you want me to dress up in a jersey and start promoting and handing out flyers through campus, like if that's what we need to do to get it like more taken seriously. But I feel like some people just don't want to take that time to do it.
Yeah.
That goes for like any team. It just, you need to put the time and effort into it to get that outcome. It takes work.
Yeah, I think we got to sell it. And by that, I mean, we have to... Just going crazy.
Shoot, my dog is like freaking out.
We have to sell it, meaning that we have to sell it to the public in some way that it is something that they should pay attention to. And whether that be in the marketing, I really, really think it's in social media and broadcasting and live streaming.
I'm trying so hard, like I'm trying. Oh my God. I wish there was like more I could do.
Yeah.
Like newspapers. I don't.
It is tough because I've contacted local papers around here and they're kind of like, oh yeah, all right, we'll run a short little, you know, third page story or quarter page story on you. And then, oh, that's cool. And then it goes by and there's not really anything that really happens. And paintball around here in Toledo has just diminished and it's terrible. I really need to open up a field.
Yeah, dude, I feel like there was a event last year where someone got posted in the paper. I saw it maybe on like one of the forums.
Mm-hmm.
It was posted like, I don't want to say it was a front page of the paper. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if it was like Chicago or something like that.
Chicago was
like
in the news last year.
Was it Chicago?
Yeah.
It may have been something like that. I read
because Bruno yelled at the
I remember
cameraman.
it was a big deal. People made a big deal about it, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like,
mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember Bruno. They were filming something. I was saying something to the camera, and they were filming, and then Bruno was talking with somebody. I forget. It was Rob Velez, and then they had our game plans on it. And the camera guy from the news station, who has nothing to do with anybody except for the news station, is like just randomly filming, and then he kind of pans down to like what Bruno and Rob are doing, and then Bruno goes, "That better fucking not be live." And it's like, what does it matter? Like, but they ended up not using that. But after I heard it, I was like, yeah, I can see that. Typical Bruno.
Oh my God.
Oh, I love that guy. Oh, man. So who did you start following when you were younger and you started kind of getting more on the competitive side? Who did you follow?
This is really embarrassing.
Why?
So I didn't know who anyone was. I think I had heard of like Chris Lasoya and like Ollie Lang. That was probably it. And to this day, people will tell you, like, they make fun of me because I don't know who half the pro players are. That ones I do know are like my friends. Like, I've known for like 6 years. I'm just like, okay, it's like whatever. It's kind of weird, like whatever. But growing up, because I joke with B about this, B Paxton.
Mm-hmm.
I knew who Kat Sikora was before her.
Right.
And that wasn't even until years later. I was just like, I'm just kind of like, I always say, I'm here to play. Like, you tell me where to go and I go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who anyone is. I don't know who's, famous for who. And I'm learning that now. And I'm like, oh, after I meet them, I learn after the fact. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, cool, I guess. Like, I feel kind of bad. I feel like a douchebag, but like, I don't know. I'm not one to just like, I don't really know shit about shit. I kind of just played it to play it.
Well, also you're a female.
I wish I was more.
Yeah, and all the pros are male, so it's like Why
I
would
think
you
I
have
know
any
more
interest?
about football. I know more about football than I do about paintball, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like this is almost embarrassing. Like it's bad. But it's I just I
Well, no,
just
that
play
that
it.
that too. There, how many people are out there that are like that? Too. How can we make the
I
professional
feel like I'm
players more? That's fine. How do we make the professional players more of those, more like idealistic, or more kind of not necessarily put them on a pedestal, but make it something not only to just play pro, but have it to where
like
they're like
idols, I
stars
guess.
again. They're idols, and it's something that kids want to do. They want to be like this person. They don't just want to go pro. They want to be like, I want to be like, I want to be like this. I want to be like
Right.
Jesse or whatever. You know, I really wanted to try and get back to that, and I just it might be like that. I don't know. It's been a while since I was in that.
Hopefully, I mean, I hope I can be a good role model for some girls that are trying to be in the sport that don't feel like they have to you see most. I feel like majority, like 3/4 of the other girls in this sport, they're in it for the wrong reasons, so to speak.
Yeah.
You kind of catch my drift. Like, I don't want other younger girls to feel like that's what they have to do or to be considered some object or attention whore
Right.
for paintball. Like, I was just there's a group, you're probably the same member of one of the Facebook paintball groups, and some girl posts a picture of her ass in a paintball mask, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, roast me, I dare you. And it's like, oh, all these comments go flying, and it's like, seriously, some of them are just, the guys are just drooling over it, and then some guys are just like, well, you're ruining paintball. Like,
They said that to you?
then, it wasn't to me. It wasn't my photo. God, no.
Oh, okay.
This was some other girl. I was just reading the guy. I strictly went for the comments just because it was
Yeah.
very entertaining. But, like you could see, like, there's girls up here that are just like, here's my ass and here's a paintball mask. Like, oh, hi, I play paintball. It's like the first thing it's like that comes to their mind, I feel like. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, like let your talents speak. Like when I try to meet people, like I try not to say like, oh, like what do you do? Oh, I play paintball. No, that's like the very last. If I even say that, they usually find my Instagram and then they're like, is this you?
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to explain it because then they want to talk about it. And
Yeah.
they want to, it's not, it's the only thing they want to talk about. I'm like, what if I don't want to talk about it for a second? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I just don't want other girls to feel like they have, to feel like they're kind of viewed for as an object or as just attention. Like I want them to actually play it because they want to play it. Because I
Yeah.
know it's a very male-dominated sport.
Yeah, and
So I don't know.
the paintball players are not the classiest group.
No. Absolutely not.
And that's what and I've always been taught in you kind of treat somebody how you want to be treated, and you treat somebody with respect.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think anybody who like the paintball pin, I know there's like a paintball pinups thing or whatever, like if it's for a charity or whatever it's for, I mean, I'm all about it. But I'm also like not one of those where it's like, yeah, I think that's great for the sport. I mean,
yeah. Thing is, my only problem with that, with the pinups, and I haven't brought up the pinups in a while, but I will say this. Do what you want to do. If you want to sell your body for sex, do it. Do it. But do not sit there and say that you're trying to advertise and advertise women in paintball, women being plural, women being me, Caitlin Woodward, fucking Katie Kelly, Nicole Episcopo, Youngs. If you're going to sit there and do the same 3 girls that I haven't seen at an event in the 3 years I've been in Texas, don't bring it up like that. Because we know what patreon.com, but you're selling softcore porn. I get that. But then my only issue with that is do your thing. You can do whatever you want with your body. That's your body. Do what you want.
Yeah.
But don't associate that with paintball if you're not helping it, especially with females. You're scaring them the fuck away. And you're thinking that some 13-year-old girl is going to go out here in a fucking thong
and that's what I have
and
to
get
do
attention.
to get
You think that
noticed.
she's going to win a tournament. Yeah, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not.
Well,
I've been asked by other sponsors to put on underwear and do this for this. I said no. That's
Really?
not what I want to be seen as. Yes. And I refuse because that's just not what I want to be seen as. I don't want that to be brought into the sport.
You want to be seen as an
I
athlete.
want to be I want to take it seriously. Because I know if the second I do that, I'm not going to be me on the field. It's going to be my ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be seen as that.
It's going to be more
Everyone's
off the
got an
field
ass.
pictures than you actually playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's so fucking terrible. And that's
And that's
another
just
thing where guys don't understand.
It's not everyone's, but it's me. So.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. And I think guys will never understand that. And we just never will. And, you know, I think that's a great thing to say, especially if younger females who are getting into the sport are listening to this, which I hope they are, because please, more females play. And I think this podcast will definitely help. But I think if you think that's what you have to do in this sport, as far as paintball and females go, is to kind of not necessarily sell yourself in that aspect, but instead of wanting to be the athlete and thinking that that's the only route, it's not. And I really, really hope that whoever was in charge, who asked you to do those pictures or anything like that, like I hope they feel ashamed for themselves, because you're holding back the growth of the sport if we're just going to kind of portray people like that. I understand that it sells, right? Great. I understand that. But as far as progressing in the sport,
I think they did it in the most professional way. And I was just like, you know, honestly, you said think about it. I was like, you know, I'll think about it, but I'm probably not going to think about it. Like, this is, you know, I'll send you a T-shirt, you know, whatever. But, you know, this is what I want to be recognized as. I have this image going for younger girls. And I've had younger girls contact me and say, thank you. You know, you are an inspiration. I want to be you one day. Good. I hope you do. Like, because this is, you have to have a tough shell to be at a tournament with 1,000 other fucking dudes, you know? Like, and you know, you start learning all the cat calls. You hear, like, you know, you hear things. It's hilarious. You have to have a very tough shell. You can't take anything for a grain of salt, you know?
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's sad too, because guys definitely bring I'm not saying every one of everybody's girlfriend out there is, but they bring their slutty girlfriends, and they're wearing shit like that, and they're watching paintball, and they're at the paintball field, and then that's all that we think about when there's a female at the field. Right. Is that not? And then when we see the players,
they started hiring girls like that last time too. What was it at Dallas? There were these girls walking around. Did you please tell me you saw them, right? I heard that they were like hired by the venue.
I've seen it multiple times. Yeah, and they're wearing the NXL shirts or something like that. And
like, well, there was girls wearing fishnets and like tutus and weird shit like that.
And I feel like that's every event.
They were walking through the pits. Maybe I'm missing something. I was like, what the hell? They were just kind of walking through the pits, and I was like, seriously? Like,
really?
Can you not? Like, I'm just not trying to like catch crabs today. Like, thanks. Yeah. Can you put your shit back in your shorts? Like, I don't. I'm trying to focus on this tournament. I'm here listening to my music, and I got this fucking ass and tutu, like number 4, hanging out. It was just weird. Like, that's not going to bring the families to the events. Like,
it is a different world too. When I go, because I always try and go through like the divisional area. I always try and do just a couple walkthroughs, just kind of feel that vibe, you know, that divisional vibe again. I love it, but it's always like, there's so many fucking weird people out there, and it's always entertaining to just walk around and people watch and be like, there's some weirdos that play paintball. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, you just gotta get your sunglasses on and just stare. It makes it not weird.
Fuck that. Definitely no, I'll do it. I love it. No glasses. I'll watch you like, whoa, wow, okay, all right. Oh, hey, what's going on? You know, and I
have to keep. I have a confession. Watching. I keep headphones in sometimes, and I have a really bad resting bitch face. And I promise, I'm really sweet. I promise. But I've been told I look like a bitch at tournaments just because I don't know. I'm focused when I go in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'll put in headphones just so I don't have to talk to anyone. Because I get like weird people like calling me down. And then like I tell people like I'm so bad with names, because in a sport where everyone wears a mask and I meet you and then it's like, oh hey Jess, what's up? And I'm like,
I'm faces all that.
Like I can't remember you. I'm sorry. Obviously, like you know, I'm a little bit easier to distinguish, but shit, I'm so bad with like matching faces and names.
I know. I feel like you need to walk around with like a like one of those orange flags that are on go-karts with the post and just think, oh, okay, there she is. We know where she is.
I have like looked at people's like last names, like Facebooked them, see if we're friends, and like, is this the person I was gonna say hey to? Make sure I say hey to, so I'm not an asshole. And I have to like look and like, okay, that's okay. We're good. Like,
yeah.
Because I'm so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I get a lot of guys, a lot of people that come up to me and they're like, "Hey, man, do you remember me from like 3 years ago? it'll be like said hi at this event. I'm like, I'm sorry, bud. I have no
Dude,
idea.
it's the
You look
paintball. It's
familiar.
just one big family reunion.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love it.
it's great though because I think I think talking about the whole headphone thing too. I used to do that when I was younger in the sport. I used to I had to get myself all hyped up and ready. And now I don't know if it's just because like I'm maturing and I'm an older player and everything, which I don't think 32 is that old. But
No, you're fine.
but I mean,
You're good. I don't want to think about it.
but it's like, I've learned that I like talking to people and interacting with people, and I think that's one reason why I really enjoy doing this podcast. And now I don't hardly listen to music at all. Maybe I'll throw in my headphones quick from the ride from the hotel to the field. I maybe will. But other than that, like while I'm at the field, I'm kind of I really try to take it in because you never know. I mean, it's gonna sound like so, but you just never know what could happen at any point, or when my season could be over because I really did blow my knee out real bad instead of something like this, or because I don't have that many more years playing, and or just something could happen on the ride from the hotel to the field, or anything. And you really, really need to take it in, and obviously everybody wants to go there to win and be an athlete. But if it wasn't for everybody else having this dream, we wouldn't have any of this. And if you don't stop and slow down for a little bit and kind of just be like, this is awesome, doing something that I really, really enjoy doing, and it goes by like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it comes down to how bad you want it.
Yeah.
To succeed in this sport. And like I've kind of like my mom hates it. Like I hate to say that, my mom hates it.
Yeah.
I told her, like, I'm not playing for my Texas team. Oh, good. Like, thanks. Like, first of all, I'm still gonna be on a team. I got an offer. I just have to fly out, and it's super inconvenient, but it's better in the long run, I guess. If I don't get there, I don't get there. If that's not what it's made to be. But it's at the rate that I've been improving, I feel like I can do it as long as someone is willing to give females that chance. Not necessarily me, but like any other female that's willing to step up to that level.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. I think for guys in the sport, I think it is. You're kind of holding yourself back, and you have to put yourself in that position. But with you have to not only do that, but sadly, on the team owner's end or captain or whoever's in charge is probably more than likely male. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's also up to them to be able to be willing to give you that chance.
Right.
Which they should. Whoever is out there, just fucking stop it and open up your mind already.
Hey, I mean, like I said, like I tell other teams, if I feel like I'm not performing at the event, I will sit myself.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you're doing good, put me in. If not, don't put me in. That's what it is. That goes to everyone.
So, what kind of player would you describe yourself as?
God, I don't know. I haven't asked this before. I feel like I've gotten more aggressive over the few years, just learning the field awareness, everything like that.
Gunfighting or moving aggressive?
I'm not very good at gunfighting. I don't feel like. I've gotten better at moving. I'm small, so I can be very sneaky. I can be quick. I know I'm obviously learning. I'm getting better at my snap shooting, my gunfighting, and stuff like that. I've gotten more aggressive. I've definitely gotten compliments on that. Shit, what was I gonna say?
Do you do any kind of drills or what drills do you do?
I haven't been able to do anything on my own. Like I said, the weekends that I'm here, I've been working, but I do like different, like, my biggest thing was for me was holding my gun steady when I'm running because I'm so little. And this, obviously nothing's smaller for me. So we're all the same size gun.
Yeah.
So I'm like running and trying to keep it without moving and shaking my little hands. I'm just running, trying to slide to the corner while keeping a steady lane.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to work on. So I try to do some stuff like that.
You may give you a piece of
running
advice on that?
Yeah.
On the running and shooting? I'm sorry to cut you
Yeah.
off, but
No, do it, please. I take any advice I can get.
on your foregrip or your gas through or
Mhm.
whatever you want to call it, your front hand, are you over the barrel or are you thumb under?
Are you talking like a kill grab? Or what do you call it? A
So like
death
this?
grip? No, if I'm coming up from the box and my barrel pointing down and I'm coming up to go run towards the center, I'll do a death grip and I switch it as I'm running.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm going to the side, it's not a death grip. It's just to the side. And I try to push it into the corner of my armpit as hard as I can
Yeah.
and try to keep it as steady as I can.
So one, as a professional athlete and somebody that I would play against if you were ever playing, we would notice that. Like some little subtlety like that where if you line up like this and you have your gun down like that, instantly you're going up the center, and then once you switch it like this too, you're going. So that's one thing. So what I always try and be consistent in whatever you're doing, right-handed, left-handed, going up the center, even if you're going at the middle, if you have to switch it at the last second or something like that, but you always line up like you're going to be doing, anything. But I don't know why I'm not a very big fan of this, because I know instantly, as a guy who runs to the corner and shoots back in the middle, I know instantly that you're not going anywhere. And you are going to be, it's a lot harder, even what people think, it's a lot harder for you to hit me as I'm trying to hit you than, because I have a few jobs that I'm trying to do as I'm running out to a corner and I'm shooting that guy, but I know that you are in the middle, you are stationary. You're not going anywhere. So I have just that one area that I have to shoot at. The guy who's usually shooting a lane usually has 2 lanes that they're shooting. It's the first one for the short run and then one for long, depending on if I go past that first lane or not. So they not only do they have to shoot that first lane, but then they have to switch for the other one, along with looking at the paint coming in at them. I'm not necessarily doing that because I'm just running to a corner. Like, that's my job. Run to the corner and shoot up the middle. So I have one less job than what they do. So if I can do that accurately, running out to the corner and shooting back in, I feel like I have the better chance. But anyway, the foregrip thing. So when you switch grip, right? Did you say that you put your thumb over or under the grip? Like, do you hold it like this, or do you hold it like this?
What if I'm coming up to the center?
No, when you're going out to a corner.
Oh, just a normal, like, here's the grip. I'm holding it like this.
Okay, so are you underneath? So hang on. I gotta explain it. I'm gonna grab something.
Okay. Easy.
Okay. So I have my mechanical.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this thing is so sweet. I love this thing. I wish I could shoot it in the tournament. I want to so bad. But anyway, so are you like this? Are you like this, or are you under like that?
Like,
you're like this.
Under.
So I'm gonna give you some advice. At least how it worked for me. So here it's really hard.
And that's coming from this side, right?
Yeah, so if, like, you're coming from this way, so you do this. You're coming here and you go like that, right?
Yes.
So what I've noticed throughout the years anyway is that because you have a loader full of paint too, right? You're very top heavy. So you have so now with your thumb underneath here like this, you are having to control. It takes a lot more effort to try and control that top heavy loader. Like, you're fighting, not only trying to stay steady and level, but you're also trying to keep that kind of steady. So what I've learned is that it takes a lot less effort to control your marker if your thumb's up here, because now your thumb is pretty much a wall that your marker stays stationary against. It's a lot easier to keep your barrel level and everything stationary as you're running out to a corner, left-handed or right-handed.
So keeping the thumb up.
So thumb up, you can either wrap it around your barrel if you want, like this, which I do when I shoot left-handed, but when I shoot right-handed, I kind of put it about right there like that. And now,
Okay.
so this, and the reason I was bringing this up is because with like gunfighting or anything like that, it's
Right.
really, it's really important to stay as steady as possible. And if you
Right.
can do that extra thing to keep, because when you snap shoot too, you're also bringing that weight of the loader out with you. I mean, whether you're doing the
Right.
roll or whether you're doing, this whole thing, you have to
Hmm.
control that top. So if you do it with your thumb out there like that, it's a lot easier to do. And a drill, if you want to do to get better at snap shooting, and snap shooting pretty much,
I've been setting up little posts and, you know,
do small
doing my
targets.
thing.
Small targets.
Yeah. It was like a 2 inch, maybe 1 inch little piece of plywood.
Nice. That's the best.
And
What
with
I
clean
had,
points off it.
the kids that I had drilling out here. So the not the big fat barrels, but the skinny ones with the eyelet up top, the orange construction cones.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So the skinny ones, they have an opening up at the top. So what I had the
Yeah.
kids do at the field was that um, you have to shoot either the top half of the ring or through the eyelet, and they
Okay.
had to shoot
Wow.
it. They had to shoot it 5 times before they circulated around. And then in the meantime, while those guys are trying to shoot this uh, construction cone kind of set off a little bit from the Doritos or whatever bunker that you're fighting, there's a guy behind him who doesn't go in, who just shoots one ball every time that person snap shooting comes out.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so now what you're trying to do is you're trying to snap shoot and shoot through this little hole, but at the same time see the paint. It's not a volume of paint; it's just one paintball coming at you every time you come out. So you kind of get that depth perception when you're playing,
Right.
and I feel that that helps out a lot. And if you're at home and you don't have a lot of time to train because you're working, what I suggest is going into take your marker, load it up, loader. You don't have to load it up with paint. Well, you could. It actually might help because that's going to be your real weight is with
Right. Yeah.
loader full paint. Um, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling about this, but like little
No,
shit
you're
like
fine.
this, like I love talking about. But
You're
um,
good.
so you throw your tank on and everything, and then you go to a mirror and you snap shoot in the mirror. But you don't do it to where
Right.
it's like you kind of just do this whole repetition thing. Like you actually like set yourself
They
up.
say like a doorway because I have a doorway and a mirror in our hallway,
Hmm.
so it should be perfect. My roommate would probably be like, "What the fuck are you doing in my room?" Like, just coming out. But I mean that I've done that like in the bathroom before.
Hmm.
We have our the back room at the back wall, but
No, I mean it's incredible how well it works because you're pretty much teaching yourself on how far you're coming out. And you can
right,
see where you need to kind of come in a little bit. I mean, with a mirror that where you're kind of backed up off of it like that, you can see your
right,
foot's hanging out, if your knees hanging out, and then I like to be waist up because I normally know like where my feet are.
right.
I'm not a big wide stance on gunfighting. I'm kind of like shoulder width and maybe a little bit further out, but I know where my feet are. But if I go to the mirror to where I can only see from the waist up to the top of my head, I can see exactly how far I'm coming out and how if I'm loader's leaning out or whatever like that. Or I got to have a little bit longer marker. I can't do like the cobra thing that people do where it's like they're like this and might as well have a fucking drop
Oh
forward.
my God.
Like they're doing this thing. I'd rather have it. I think it's from
Wait, where the back of the fucking bolts on your mask?
and then like it's like rocking back and forth as they're shooting. Like no, but this thing I haven't had. Like I've been playing paintball for a long time, and
Right.
when the Eclipse guys sent this to me to try out, and I started playing 10-man with it, I'm like geeking out talking about it. But I'm not big on autocockers, like at all. Like I have no interest. Even though I'm way like tinkery. I'll open shit up, I'll figure out how it works, I'll do this. But with autocockers, I've never wanted anything to do with them. I don't know why. But when I started playing with this and I was like, holy shit, this is fucking accurate. And then holy shit, this thing shoots really smooth. And then they told me, yeah, this is going to be our rental marker. This is, and I'm like, I could play a
Ah,
tournament with this thing. This is awesome, and it just really made me like have fun playing paintball again. And I'm trying not to like sound shitty or like I don't have fun with the Aftershock guys. I absolutely do. But
Right.
but I
Different
was like,
kind of.
yeah, it's something about just shooting those 1-2 kind of 3-ball combination and having a really good group and having them all hit somebody from, you know, half the field away. You're like, oh my god, that feels so good. Instead of like shooting a bunch of like just shooting and shooting and shooting and then shooting. And do you get more joy out of just shooting a pot or two at somebody's pack flap and eventually it's going to hit it because you're shooting a fuck ton of paint? Or do you get more satisfaction out of like, boom, boom, you shoot 2 and it just cracks the dude in the face twice and you're moving down the field? To me, it's the second one.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I geek out when I start talking about shit like that because and only paintball players who enjoy shooting those couple balls or whatever. I'm just not a big fan of ramping and everything like that, and I wish accuracy by, you know, the few rather than accuracy by volume would come back. And I don't know if it's going to. I kind of feel like it is with the Iron City Classic and some of the mechanical tournaments that are coming around, but I just don't know if they're going to get as mainstream as the NXL itself promoting the X-Ball format.
I wish I'd put it back on ESPN.
Is that what we need? Do we need TV time or do we need some kind of internet?
I feel like everyone that I used to talk to that was like, "Oh, paintball, yeah, I remember that used to be on ESPN like back in the day," and it's like, yeah, you know, but like I don't know. Then they're like, "What's Go Sports?" Like,
yeah, here's my
like,
idea.
I'm like, oh, come on, it's just
fucking Netflix.
I mean, dude, they should.
Netflix, get
like
a deal.
Like,
Dude, get a Netflix deal and have it be a show. You know, it can be produced. Have this be maybe, I don't know if they're doing live streaming or not, but have this be maybe one of their live streamed or even post-production kind of things where it comes out the following weekend, and then have it be a trending thing for a few weeks and see what happens.
We should write a letter. How do we do that?
Absolutely.
Like, we need to.
Everybody listening. Everyone listening.
I'm willing to do anything. They need to interview me. Do whatever you need. I got this.
Let's do it. I think everybody should.
We need to get this on there. I'm not even kidding.
Everybody listening, write a letter to Netflix saying that they need to get this going, and I think that's going to be our ticket. I think Netflix, I don't know how they're worth how much money and spending how much money, and I think that would be the best platform.
There's so many pointless shows out there. They're stupid. I've seen everything. Like, over it. We need to have paintball up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's the best way. Honestly, I mean, everybody's like, well, we got to get on TV, we got to try this, we got to try that, and I was like, okay, well, what is the most prevalent thing right now? Social media, right? And news and anything happening in the palm of your hand, like that is what's relevant. And just back from that is the convenience of being able to watch whatever you want, whenever you want with Netflix. So it
should be.
Yeah, that's the next best thing. So why don't we attack the next best thing, which could blow the sport more than what it ever could have been.
Right.
And that's my rant on why we should be on Netflix.
We need to brainstorm. I'm serious. We need to get this going.
It needs to happen.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, where do you stand on? It's a good segue. Where do you stand, or where do you see the future of paintball going?
God, obviously we'd all, be like, oh, let's go paintball in the Olympics. That'd be fucking dope, But I know that's going to take a while, especially since they just got baseball and we've had curling for God knows how fucking long.
Yeah, there is curling.
Don't get me started on curling. I can't. But
do you not like curling?
No, I can't fucking stand it. Like I said, it would be way more entertaining. See how many boxes of Thin Mints I can eat in one sitting.
There you go.
That's way more entertaining, and I can kill a bunch. But no, I don't think curling's very.
Yeah, I think the guys who won, I think it was a USA team or Canadian team, and I think they were in their late 30s, and I think they had kids and everything, and I think they were like, yeah, we just we're gonna go back and we're gonna go and see our families and our kids and this and that. Like normally, an athlete, you're gonna hear like younger athletes gonna be like, oh yeah, I do this and we're gonna do this and this and this, and I gotta thank my trainers, and like, no, we just want to go back and see our families. It's like them too, like that's their team. Or I don't know. I'm sorry if you're a curler out there. I really don't know that much about it.
Yeah, I feel like I need a lesson, but I still, I don't know. Paintball needs to be up there.
I mean, do you think we're really ready for the Olympics?
I don't think we're ready yet. But I feel like it's definitely, if we can get people to actually try. Because I mean, in order for something to work, you all need to work together. It can't just be 6 people that think that paintball should be to this level. Everyone needs to pitch in a little bit, you know? It's like cleaning the fucking earth. You're not going to have a clean earth unless you all start picking up your fucking trash.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to like make little bits here and there. You got the people on Facebook that bitch about this and bitch about that with paintball. How about focus on the positive? What's going to get you, like, what's beneficial of it, you know? What are people going to want to watch? You just need more people to be in to grow it, to grow the sport, and not just come so much bitch about it and think of it as like a little dinky hobby. I know it's a dinky hobby for some people, but for those people that don't, they need to make their voice known and definitely act accordingly.
Yeah. I mean, you're representing not only yourself, but the sport, kind of a thing.
Yeah. And I wish there'd be more marketing behind it for sure.
It's like they need to hire an entire marketing team that is a separate entity from everyone and just say, hey, we want to just pretty much sell this to the public. Like,
right. I mean, and people, I know people that run the NXL pages, they're doing a great job. Man, we need to get that shit other than Instagram. I mean, most of us need to start sharing it, like tagging our friends that are non-paintball. Like maybe some of us don't have non-paintball friends. Like I only have a few, but I'm trying like to get these people out there, and I've got groups of friends from the gym, and I'm honestly trying to get like a fitness day at the gym and have a group of people from our gym go out as, Larry North Fitness, paintball fitness day, and go out and play some woods ball, rec ball, like learn fundamentals of just basic speedball, like diving, just having a cardio day. And that's what I eventually went to, try to do, just open some doors,
Yeah, because I feel like paintball still is, well, it's little things like that help. And it's if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't know about paintball, or, whatever they did hear about paintball, it's shooting each other in the woods, pretty much. It's not the competitive side. And I know that everybody's like, oh, you gotta build from within and do this, and then we gotta grow ourselves. And yes, I understand that, and I feel like it can only get us so far. But there are few that are in charge that could really take us to the next level. We could only do so much. We love the sport because we understand it, right? We love it because we played it and we've been in those situations.
Another level.
Yeah, the whole thing.
I can't explain why I did either. It's like, why do you want to go get shot? Like, it's not really about that. Like, they say there's 4 walls, there's nets. Once the nets are up and your mask is on, it's a whole another world for me. Like,
yeah. So what music do you listen to before you play?
I listen to a lot of rock. Someone bagged on me on Instagram. They're like, oh, it's meth rock or meth metal or something. Breaking Benjamin and Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, wow. I said that's hard rock. I would say that's harder rock.
Grace. Yeah, 3 Days Grace. Depending on my mood, that's typically what it is. There's some like hard rap songs that I'll listen to. Mostly just rock. I like to get, the angrier I am, the better I play. I feel like, honestly.
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to get like, I'm fucking hyped and ready. Now I have to walk over to a corner where nobody is, and hopefully nobody peed. Because you will find the corners that everybody's peeing in, and you'll be like, fuck, it smells like...
in the corners out here? Are you serious?
Oh, for years. Everybody does that.
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't do it through the fence anymore. I'm a little bit more, but it all depends, too. I mean, there's only so many porta potties back in those pro pit areas. Only so many. But, I mean, I remember back in the day, guys used to piss in pods. And like in the corner of the pit, and they used to just keep it over in the corner. I'm like, geez, dude, that smells like piss. Please take it out to the garbage or something. But I mean, guys were ruthless back then.
I mean, try being a girl at the field. You've got like what, 6 porta potties for like how many dudes in the freaking divisional pits? And I usually would hold it for 6 or 7 hours a day. Unless I've been chugging more water now, you know, being more athletic and eating right and actually drinking water. And like then all of a sudden, shit, I gotta pee like now. I don't care about the sport, right? You've learned to adapt. And I'm not naming the home field in Texas, but there's a woods ball setup vehicle, like a bus or something that I've peed on. I've snuck away at practice to pee on that bus.
Yeah.
Because I was not about to use the porta potty that my 15 teammates just used that morning. I'm sorry.
You gotta be. That's why you gotta be the first one. And people know this. People who are out there know this. The guys that play tournaments and anything like that. You know that, or if you know which ones are the clean ones, and you'll navigate towards those. Because I'm like, I don't see very many people going into that one right away. I'm gonna go get that one.
Oh, you try. It's so hard. That's what I liked about, what was it, MSXL Nashville and actually I think it was was it Vegas? No, it was Vegas. Yeah, there's like, they had it in that field, and like there's the porta potties, you know, but if you walk further down, there's bathrooms, like actual bathrooms.
Oh, yeah, way better.
Loved it. Oh, it was amazing. No stress in the morning.
Oh, that's awesome. So where did you go with the USA women's paintball team? This was a couple weeks ago.
We were just in Panama. So,
to play paintball or just to enjoy the sunshine?
For paintball.
Oh, okay.
For paintball, I got there. So it was supposed to be like a weekend thing. But Panama ended up actually dropping out of their own event because they wanted to go to Prague. I don't blame them. You know, being Panama all the time. So there was a few other teams there. So we came in. Well, I accidentally came in an extra couple days early. But so I got to, you know, explore, lay out, whatever. Have a drink or 2 or 3. And when we played that Saturday, I guess it was Saturday, Friday or Saturday. Yeah, it was only that one day. Everything was over, but God, it was so humid. Like I put that like World Cup humid times 10. Yeah. Like my rotor almost caught on fire. Like it was hot. It was very hot.
I've always wanted to go.
It was awesome. Yeah. It was awesome. It was so convenient. The hotel was pretty cool. You literally just sleep right there, and you get up and you walk to the field. The field's on the grounds of the hotel, which was dope. Yeah. So like I wish all events were like that, but unfortunately. Yeah. And we plan to get back next year. So.
That'd be sweet. Let's see. What was it? I know I have notes of here what I wanted to ask you. So you can't tell us who you're possibly playing for, or for Atlantic City, and let's see, the USA paintball team. Was that something that B approached you about?
Yes. They approached me about that. I had kind of heard it through the grapevine about like a women's team forming, and I had my skeptical, whatever the word would be for that. I was a little bit hesitant about it. But I remember it was at Vegas. They said, "Hey, are you willing to come do a tryout at Vegas?" And I had just gotten done with a match, and I was like, "Shit, I guess." Like, yeah, I was supposed to be pitting for my other line, so I was like, "Look, this is what I got to do right now." So, got in a car with Emily from Air Ups. I don't think I'd ever like really talked to her before. We went to the field and like, "Oh, we're gonna be playing Snake," and I'm just beat. Like I was playing the 50, and so I've been going to start Snake off break. Okay,
you're playing the go get 'em spots.
Yeah, and I had not played Snake in like probably almost a year. Like I haven't played Snake, but I guess I did decent enough. They're like, cool. This is what you're gonna play. We need this, so make it work. Made it work. Everyone was super cool. Just kind of, coming into a new line, especially females. Like I'd played with females one other time, not for very long, but majority, 11 years males. So it was new.
Jeez. Yeah.
people don't, probably aren't as welcoming at first. Like any team you go on to, at first you're like, oh, hey, I'm here. I'm going to be your snake player for, the next few events. And people are, when you're used to being on a team with the same girls, it's like, who are you? So you kind of gotta earn that respect.
You just gotta
like
show up and
team.
do your job. And
yeah, you gotta show up, do your job, show them that you're not here to lose, and like we're all on the same team. We're here to fucking win, and that's what we did. Work together.
Hell yeah. Well, that's awesome. I think we should end on that. Thanks, Sarah. It's already been an hour and a half. Yeah.
Has it really? Oh,
yeah. It's crazy. Well, Rogan says the same thing. I mean, I just listened to a 3-hour podcast he did with somebody, and he's like, yeah, it's like a time warp when you start doing these things.
Love it.
And but anyway, I very, very much appreciate you sitting down and talking with me.
Yeah, no.
And I wanted to do this to promote yourself, but also to promote women in the sport and progressing in that direction.
Yes.
And
we need more.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have any other podcasts coming up, feel free to call me. I can talk all day. Let's go.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. No, I had a great time, and good luck in
Thank you.
Atlantic City, and safe travels, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds great. You too.
All right, see ya.
I see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. I had a great time. It was great being able to throw ideas around with you, as well as really, hopefully, push the issue on getting females out and into the pro division, and start throwing down with some of the best in the world. That's what I would love to see, man. It's gonna help the sport for sure. Thanks, Jessica, and thank you to our sponsors, Punishers Paintball. Like I said before, guys, make sure you check them out. It's punisherspb.com, and if you head over there, they have a Spire 3 trade-in program where if you trade in a loader, that money from you trading in a loader will go towards a brand new Spire 3. And they have all the details on their website, but they also have new and used gear, which is really cool. And they have been around and helping the sport of paintball in the community since around 2003. But these guys are awesome. Make sure you check them out, punisherspb.com. And if you use the promo code just TPOP, you'll get 10% off any order. So check them out. Thank you, Punishers. Also, Charm City Paintball, head game for days, guys. Make sure you check them out. Charm City Paintball on Facebook and Instagram. He has all kinds of stuff up there, from head wraps to headbands to pack bands to all kinds of stuff. He's got new fabrics all the time, all limited runs. Awesome guy. Charm City Paintball. Carbon Paintball. If you type in the promo code TPOP, you will get 10% off your entire order. If you guys have any questions about sponsorships or anything like that, make sure you shoot me an email, carl@carbonpaintball.com, and I will do my best to get you guys into some carbon gear. Thank you, Carbon and Planet Eclipse, the makers of the best paintball markers on the planet, hands down. Sweetest shooting, best looking. I have other things to describe it, but I can't think of it right now. But they're awesome, man. I have the Etha mechanical right here. God, this it's so sweet. It's so fun. Planet brings, the fun into paintball, and they're always trying to innovate and make the player have a better experience on the field. So I think they're doing an amazing job at that. And thank you to everyone out there listening. Greatly appreciate it, man. There's nothing like the feeling of whenever somebody messages you and says, hey man, I love the podcast, love what you're doing, and it makes my day, that you guys are enjoying this shit. So it makes it worthwhile, that's for sure. But I apologize about the audio. I'm slowly but surely getting there. I'm trying to up my production and get this shit out there. I'm hopefully getting a camera here soon to be able to record more shit, and it's just, there's a lot of work that goes into it. I'm hoping that the direction is going to be forward with this whole thing, And like I said before, guys, make sure you try not to text and drive. I know it's tough, but please keep your eyes on the road. Stay alive. Be sweet. Be nice to each other. You know all that shit. But hopefully, guys, we will see you again here soon on the Playing On podcast. Love you all. Later.